So Corey Harawira-Naera and Jayden Okunbor were recently granted a reduced suspension and allowed to come back into the NRL. Of course, both players were contracted to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, but the scuttlebutt started early that Harawira-Naera did not want to return to the club that effectively sacked him. He had not heard from anyone at the club since he was pushed out of the organisation, and it's arrived at a point where he has now negotiated himself a contract with another club, and hoops, it is the Canberra Raiders. Is that right?
I think we'll see Corey Harawira-Naera turn out for the Canberra Raiders in round 12. Not this weekend coming, but round 12, they play North Queensland. Ricky Stuart is so impressed with this young man and what he can do in terms of his football that I think he goes straight into Canberra's best 17. And we said it last week, Ben, I don't blame Corey Harawira-Naera for taking the stand that he has in relation to the Bulldogs. He admitted he did the wrong thing. He apologised for it. He was not trying to tap dance around or make excuses there. But he felt as though he'd been let down by people at the club, and he couldn't forgive and forget.
Well, you know what, though? I don't think Canterbury did the wrong thing either. I think Canterbury said there's a standard here that we find acceptable, and you haven't met that standard. Yeah,
but they backflipped on that then and said, now that your suspension's reduced, we want you back again.
Well, that was part of the, because of suspension. Well, originally his contract was cancelled. It was reinstated, so Canterbury had to try and get on with the business of it, but it hasn't worked out. They've realised they can't do business, so they've let him go. I think this is just positive all round, this one.
It's a great pickup for the Raiders. Like, given the middle forwards, no Soliola, no Emre Gula, no Corey Horsburgh for the rest of the season. John Bateman named in the 21 this week, and we believe a decent chance of playing. But given their injury toll, he's a Kiwi Test player.
I think they're holding out to get some form of... Well, they were trying to get a player swap for him, but I think they've now acknowledged that won't happen. I think they're hoping to get some form of compensation for him, maybe some cash, because he's got...
They were after Laffey, though, but they've got Laffey anyway now.
Yeah, but no, from Canberra, I'm saying. They want something in return
originally, but they were offering Harawira-Naera to St George Illawarra, hoping to get Laffey at a swap, but they got Laffey anyway. So that lessened the pressure to get something out of Canberra, because they essentially got their man anyway.
Well, I think they'll be happy with a little bit of cash. Now, whether Canberra be willing to give them some cash, probably not, because he's so defiant and wanting to leave. I think Okunbor will be back at training on Monday. They say they were Canterbury, so he won't be going anywhere yet.
And let's just remind everybody, Harawira-Naera is a player, very clever edge back rower. So based on what I saw early on at the Bulldogs, I think he's going to be a wonderful addition to the Raiders. I mean, this is a guy that can play tough, but has got some silky skills, has he not? I mean, Ricky Stuart would just be rubbing his hands together.
He's a game breaker, Ben. I remember Blocker Roach said to me before this year started, he said, I'll tell you who I reckon will be one of the standout performers this season. And I was surprised when he named Corey Harawira-Naera, given all the players involved in the NRL. But I think based on what we saw from him at the back end of last year, he's a try scorer, runs great lines on an edge, and can whack in defence. So
poor old Dean Pay too. Like, seriously, a week after he gets punted as coach, this guy's available. Didn't get to use him all year.
But he's going to Canberra. I
know that, but he would have liked to have had him for the. Yeah. If things had turned out differently.
He's a handy long-term replacement.
Because he was a massive loss.
As you said. You know, John Bateman's obviously gone at the end of the year. It's just seamless, really.
All right, well,